Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining our training today. We're going to be covering the project performance report goals 6 through 10. We have the following items for our agenda. We are going to go over the project performance overview document, how to access the project performance dashboard, and also do a deeper dive in each goal and how each goal is calculated. So goal 6 is going to look at help adult increase their income while enrolled in the project. Goal 7 is going to look at projects helping adults increase their income as of project exit. And goal 8 is helping clients exit to successful housing situation. And goal 9, stabilizing clients in permanent housing. And goal 10 is ensuring clients do not fall back into homelessness after exiting your program and being housed in a PH situation. And wanted to note that all of our meeting materials will be recorded and available on our website. To better organize questions that HMS Help Desk receives during this meeting, our team recommends that you submit your questions through our Q&A option. You'll see a little Q&A icon. Please add your questions there. We request that you keep your questions general and related to the meeting topic. Any agency-specific questions is best supported through our HMS Help Desk. So please, we encourage you to submit a ticket and let us know if you have any questions regarding PPR related to your agency, and we're more than happy to schedule a call to further review the data with you. Hannah?
Hi everyone. So before we dive into the goals, we'll do a quick overview of what the project performance reports are. And so we publish performance data for all street outreach, emergency shelter, transitional housing, rapid rehousing, and permanent supportive housing or other permanent housing projects that participate in HMIS. The PPRs highlight different measures that HUD and the COC have determined are important in effectively ending homelessness for the clients in Orange County. And the PPRs are used to highlight successes for the different projects, and they can also be used to help providers develop processes and policies for improving performance. And this is the publishing schedule for PPRs, which are published twice a year for each project type. You can find the reporting periods as well as the month each report is published, and the schedule can also be found in the PPR overview document. And we also want to share how to access the PPR dashboard on Clarity. And so on the Clarity website, you'll go to the Launchpad, which is the waffle icon, and select Reports. You'll then go to the Data Analysis tab as shown in the image to the right, and you'll expand the Orange County Clarity System reports and scroll down to the Project Performance Reports section. And each project type will have two dashboards. The report will provide a snapshot of the agency's performance, and the report details will provide client level data.
And I just wanted to add a quick note regarding the reports. Our HMS team will be sending out specifically goal 5 and goal 10 data, and the other goals that are applicable to the project type your agency operates, you would be able to run them from Clarity. So those goals will not be sent to you through Dropbox. So that's why we encourage users to get familiar with the PPR reports and understand the measures, and feel free to submit a ticket if you come across any questions.
Okay, thank you, Elizabeth. And we'll now go over goal 6, which is to help adults increase their income while enrolled in the project. And so, yeah, again, this goal focuses on helping clients increase their income over the course of their enrollment. And a quick note here that for homelessness prevention project enrollments, um, yeah, it counts as a positive contribution to this measure if clients increase or maintain their income. And the applicable project types and target measures are as follows. For emergency shelters, it's greater than or equal to 15%. For transitional housing, greater than or equal to 15%. Rapid rehousing, greater than or equal to 40%. Permanent supportive housing or other permanent house, per other permanent housing, greater than or equal to 65%. And for homeless prevention, greater than or equal to 55%. And the universe for the school are adults who are still active in the project as of the end of the reporting period and have a length of stay of at least 365 days. This measure compares the client's total monthly income at project entry to the latest total income reported during the enrollment. This measure excludes clients that did not provide a valid response, either income or no income, to the income from any source field collected at project entry. And at the bottom, we have a visual to show how Goal 6 is calculated, which again, it's taking the number of adult stayers with increased income divided by the total number of adult stayers. And for making corrections for Goal 6, please review the following two assessments, the status update assessment and the annual assessment, as they're used to track clients' change in income while they are enrolled in the project. Conduct a update assessment to track changes while clients are still enrolled in the project. And this should be done outside the range of the annual assessment when the client's income sources or amounts change. And then the annual assessment should be conducted within the 30-day window before or after the head of household's 1 year anniversary of their program start date, if they are still active as of 1 year from their start date. And please review the status and annual assessments, KB, for additional information on when and how to conduct these assessments.
Thank you, Hannah. Before we move forward, I just want to share an additional note regarding annual assessments. It is included in the KB, but we do want to highlight, as Hannah mentioned, that the annual assessment should be conducted based off of the head of household project start date. So it'll be 1 year after their anniversary of their project start date. So if there are members that join the project at a later time, when annual assessments are due, it's going to be based off of the head of household. So for agencies that do have to run the APR, the annual assessment is based off of the head of household project start date. Okay, thank you, Hannah. We'll go ahead and move forward to goal 7.
Okay, yeah. Next up, we have Goal 7, which focuses on helping clients increase their income by the time they exit a project. And on a similar note to Goal 6, for Goal 7, homeless prevention project enrollments count as a positive contribution to this measure if clients increase or maintain their income. And the applicable project types and targets for Goal 7 are as follows. For emergency shelter, it's greater than or equal to 15%. For transitional housing, greater than or equal to 40%. Rapid rehousing, greater than or equal to 44%. Permanent supportive housing or other permanent housing, greater than or equal to 45%. And lastly, for homeless prevention, it's greater than or equal to 50%. And the universe that applies for this goal is adults who exited a project during the reporting period. So it would be leavers. And this measure compares the client's total monthly income at project entry to the client's total monthly income at project exit. And similar to Goal 6, this measure excludes clients that did not provide a valid response to the income from any source field collected at project entry. And we've also included the visual to show how Goal 7 is calculated, which is like Goal 6, but for leavers. So the number of adult leavers with increased income over the total number of adult leavers during the reporting period. And for making corrections to Goal 7, since it is measured for clients who have exited a project during the reporting period, please review and track all income data upon program exit on the project exit screen. And increase in income is a key performance measure of most federal partner programs, so it is important to record this information when the client is exiting a program. And also check that all exit dates are entered as well so that clients who have exited a project are properly counted when measuring these goals. And for more information about the income field that is found on the enrollment, assessment, and exit screens, as well as common errors for income and benefits, please review the Income and Sources KB.
Thank you, Hannah. We'll just take a quick pause in case there's any questions for the first two goals. And I don't think I see any questions. We'll go ahead and move forward with a demo. Please let me know if you're ready to share your screen.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so now I'll be doing a demo for reviewing the PPR dashboard on the training website for goals 6 and 7, and also share how to make corrections for these goals. And I will share my screen now. Yeah, so now I'm on the training site under my agency, Hannah's agency, and we will navigate to the report. So I'm going to go to the launchpad here and go to reports, and then we'll go to the data analysis tab, expand OC training system reports, and then we'll look for the PPR section. And then we'll be running the training PPR goals 6 to 9. And so we'll just click run. And yeah, I've loaded the report already. So yeah, on the reports page, you're able to filter to your agency, the name of the specific project you want to view, as well as the reporting period. And for this example, I did it from last October to this October. And so we're gonna go over these first two tiles here for goal 6 and 7. And yeah, they look very similar to each other, but yeah, this first one is for goal 6, helping adults increase their income while enrolled in the project. And the second one is for goal 7, helping adults increase their income as of project exit. And both of these will show the percentage of clients in your agency's program who have increased income, decreased income, maintained income, or have no income. Yeah, and they're all color coded like this here. And so you're able to click on these different sections and it will bring up client level data. And so, yeah, for our example for goal 6, I am going to view client data for the maintained income. And so I'll just click this yellow orange section here. And yeah, this is what it's going to look like when it's fully loaded. And yeah, there's only one client here, but you will probably see many more when you run it for your agency. And here you're able to go directly to the client's project enrollment if you click on this box for their enrollment ID. And then you can open up Clarity Program Enrollment from there. And so we're on the enrollment for this T2 client. And then let's review the enrollment screen first for this client. And we just want to check the monthly income and sources section, for example. And so you see here that this client's earned income at entry is $200. And we can also see here that it has been over a year since this client has been enrolled in this project. And so they have also completed the annual assessment around the 1 year mark. And so let's quickly review that one too. And you see that their earned income is still $200 in this annual assessment, which is why we saw this client under the maintained income category. Yeah. And then, for example, let's say that this client saw an increase in their income. So we'll want to go to assessments, and this time we'll want to complete the status update assessment. So we'll start that assessment here. And let's just say this is the only client that we have to update for. So we'll add status assessment. And yeah, let's say that everything else is the same about this client, and then we can just put in their updated earned income at maybe $600. And then you'll just save and close. And once this data is updated in the system, you would see an increase in the percentage of clients with increased income, and then you would see a decrease for the maintained income category for goal 6. And next, we'll go over an example for goal 7, which again is helping adults increase their income as of project exit. And this time we'll look at the decreased income, and I also have that loaded here. And so we have two clients for decreased income. And for example, let's look at the second client here. And again, we'll go to the enrollment ID and select Clarity Program Enrollment to open up that enrollment. And yeah, we'll review their income at entry again. And for this client, their earned income at entry is $800. And they have exited the project, so we'll also review their exit screen. And in the monthly income and sources section, we can see that their response for income from any source is yes. But the amount in the earned income and also the total monthly income for individual, it's $0, which is why they were in that decreased income section. But let's say that we know that this client had income at exit, and it was an increased income. So this may have been a data entry error. So we want to fix that, and we'll do that by putting in the accurate value here, and we'll save that change. And so yeah, when this is updated in the system, it will also show up for goal 7. And yeah, that is how you can review your data and make corrections for goal 6 and 7. Yeah, I'll stop sharing my screen now.
Thank you, Hannah. Hannah, can you verify that you see our PowerPoint in full screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Thank you, Hannah. So we'll just take a quick pause in case there's any questions. I don't believe we see any questions right now, but we'll go ahead and move forward. We do have time for Q&A at the end. If anything comes up, feel free to add your questions into the Q&A and we can circle back. So for our next goal, we're going to look at goal 8, help clients exit to a successful housing situation. So this goal is going to look at are projects that have clients that exit from their program. So place clients into successful housing situation with the ultimate goal of permanently housing clients. With a section of street outreach projects, all other project types successful housing situations are defined as permanent housing situation. Since clients in street outreach projects are experiencing unsheltered homelessness, any move to a shelter situation would be considered a successful outcome. And you'll see the applicable project type and target threshold listed below. So street outreach, it is the threshold is going to be 20% greater than or equal to 20%. Emergency shelter is greater than or equal to 30%. Transitional housing is greater than or equal to 75%. Rapid rehousing is going to be greater than or equal to 80%. And homelessness prevention is going to be greater than or equal to 90%. And this would, the universe of clients that's included in this measure would be any client that exit during the reporting period. Similar to our other goals, we also have a visual there to help explain this measure. It's going to look at all leavers exiting to a successful housing situation divided by all total leavers. And you'll notice for goal 8, we don't have PSH included in this project. The project type PSH is not included in goal 8 because it's included in goal 9. So please review our project performance overview document to kind of let you know, depending on your different project type that you operate, there will be applicable goals for those project type. So goal 9 is similar. It's going to, this is specifically to PSH and other PH projects. It's looking at stabilizing clients in permanent housing. So clients should be stabilized in permanent housing either by remaining in the permanent housing projects after being placed in a housing unit or by exiting the project to a permanent housing destination. And the threshold goal is greater than or equal to 35%. The universe of clients is clients active during the reporting period with a housing move-in date and all clients that exit a project during the reporting period. Clients active at the end of the reporting period with a housing move-in date are considered a success, a positive outcome as they are remaining in housing. Active clients at the end of a reporting period without a housing move-in date are excluded from this measure because they're not currently considered housed. For clients that exit a project during the reporting period, review the exit destination to see a list of all the possible exit destination in HMIS. So for goal 9, we're looking at active clients stabilized in PH. This means they have a move-in date entered and leavers exiting to PH situations, divided by all active clients with a housing move-in date and all leavers. At the end of our overview document, you'll see a list of exit destination, and it gives you a table so that you can determine if the client exit to a successful outcome or unsuccessful outcome. And you'll see at the top that it's broken down by each project type as well. As mentioned, street outreach is the project type that most exit destination would be successful. So any movement into shelter is going to be a positive outcome for street outreach. And you'll see that in green. And those that destinations that you see in blank, which is the white boxes, it's going to be considered unsuccessful based off of HUD data standard as it is considered as missing data. And you'll see the yellow is going to be excluded or neutral exits. Just gonna pause right here in case we have some questions.
Hey, Elizabeth, we do have a question. If someone is moved out of state or out of the United States, what? Oh, John, do you have a additional part of your question?
Yes, so I had a recent client who moved out of the United States to India, and he got his own place out there, like a studio or apartment, but it was out of state and out of the United States into India. So I wasn't sure if there was another option for that. So I just chose rented by client with no ongoing housing substance.
Yes, John, thank you for your question. That would be the appropriate exit. It would be where the client is exiting to, whether they are still in Orange County or they were to move on to a different county or out of state. It would be the best exit destination that fits their exit at the time they move on from your project.
The last week is
Thank you. I just
administrative.
wanted to make sure you used the right
No
one.
more, so you relax. Okay.
Thank you for your question. If you ever come across any unique situation, because we know it sometimes come up, feel free to send a ticket to our HMS help desk. We'll help further investigate and refer back to the data standard to help find the best response for the situation that came up.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your question. So for making corrections to goal 8 and goal 9 is ensuring that the exit data entered on the exit screen is accurate. So making sure that you run the report and see the universe of clients that's included in that reporting period and review and make sure the appropriate exit destination was selected. As mentioned, please review our project performance overview. There is a table that kind of breaks down the different successful, neutral, and unsuccessful exits. And sometimes, of course, there may be um, it, the destination is accurate, but it just falls under unsuccessful. And sometimes that does happen, but it's just to understand and work on supporting the client, find support into exiting through to a successful exit. And in reviewing the data standard for a full list of exit destination at the very end of the document, there is going to be a list of the different exit destination and additional guidance on what each destination means, as well as categorizing them in the situations listed below, which is homeless, institutional, temporary, and permanent housing situations. Please give me a second. I'm gonna switch my screen. Anna, could you verify that you see the training clarity site?
Yes, I can see it.
Thank you for verifying. So the same pathway as Hannah mentioned, from the launch pad, you will click the report icon and go to data analysis and open up the OC clarity folder and scroll down to the project performance reports. So on our training site, we don't have all the project type, but on the live site, you would see each report for each project type. So I preloaded this report. So we're going to look at goal 8 and goal 9. Again, they're similar as they're looking at exit or clients stabilize in pH. As Hannah mentioned, you can expand these reports so that you can look at the client level data and verify that the data accurately reflects your project performance. So I preloaded the screen, but if you were to click on, we're going to look at those who are classified as unsuccessful. You can go ahead and click on the enrollment ID, and there's going to be an option to click to the enrollment screen. And then from here, we're going to look at the exit screen and make sure the data entered is accurate. So I noticed that the destination is showing emergency shelter. However, this client was able to move into a new housing unit. So after checking in with the team and making sure that we have the correct information, I'm going to go ahead and make this update because this information may have been entered incorrectly due to data entry error. So I'm going to go ahead and make that correction and then click save. And when I make that correction, I'll go ahead and rerun the report to make sure that my updated data is reflected in the dashboard. Similar to goal 9, we're going to go and look and verify the data is accurate. I'm going to expand on my project data and review the clients listed in this report. I believe I have this one already populated. Okay. Yeah, so I do have this populated, and I'm going to go ahead and click through and look at the client data, and I'm also going to run it against a project roster report. So again, goal 9 is only going to look at clients that are active with a housing move-in date and those who exit to a PH situation. So as I'm reviewing data, if I notice that there are some clients not included in this reporting period, it could be that they're missing a move-in date. So that's something that we want to ensure that we check. So along with running the dashboard, it's good to also run a program roster just to check. So I noticed this individual is part of my OC-funded permanent supportive housing project, but they're not included in the measure. However, I know they were housed, and what happened was that the enrollment screen is missing that move-in date. So this needs to be corrected. So we're going to go ahead and add a move-in date. And once I run my report again, this client will be included in that measure to ensure that they're counted in being stabilized in pH. And for those who are not stabilized in pH, it could be that their exit destination is considered not a successful outcome, and that is completely fine. Just making sure we check in and make sure this exit destination is accurate. So since this is a temporary situation, it's going to be counted towards as not successful. I'm going to stop sharing, and then we'll go back to our last goal, but we'll pause in case there's any questions about goal 8 or 9. Anna, could you just verify if you can see the PowerPoint again in full screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Thank you, Hannah. I don't think I see any questions, so we'll go ahead and move forward. So goal 10, ensure clients do not fall back into homelessness after being housed. So this measure is going to look at a 2-year period, and this aligns with HUD's system performance measure. They look at a 2-year period to ensure that clients that do exit your project, if they enter a PH situation, that they are stably housed there. So it's going to ensure that clients that are not returning to a homeless system after they are placed into permanent housing destination. And for homelessness prevention, this is ensuring the client does not enter homelessness after exiting the permanent housing situation. So for homelessness prevention project, the goal is to continue to support the client to stay in their housing situation and not fall into homelessness. So you'll see the applicable project type and targets listed below. So street outreach is less than or equal to 10%, as well as emergency shelter and transitional housing, rapid housing, and current supportive housing is all less than or equal to 7%, and homelessness prevention is less than or equal to 10%. So it's going to look at clients that exit the project to a PH destination during the reporting period. So it's going to look at similar to our other goals, we also have a visual listed below to demonstrate how this is calculated. So it's going to look at leavers placed in permanent housing who return to homelessness over total leavers. So you'll see a spreadsheet on the screen. So Goal 10, unfortunately, our HMS team can't have this report on clarity at this moment due to the sharing limitation. Goal 10 does require a whole system export, so each agency only has data, their own agency data, so you couldn't compare it to other agency data. So the whole system export is actually looking at our system as a whole and seeing where that client pathway is. So if they exit emergency shelter, are they entering back into the system and accessing a different project type? Are they or are they permanently housed and are stabilized in housing? So you'll, as mentioned, you will be getting this spreadsheet uploaded into your agency folder. So Dropbox. So agency admins would be the staff that have access to the Dropbox and have access to review this data. Please review and work with your team. Make sure the information that is available in Clarity is accurate, and if there's any corrections, you can make those corrections directly in Clarity. So when you get this report, please review the return to homelessness column, filter to any that says yes, review the client project start and exit date, and update if any of the date is incorrect. And also review any overlapping enrollments that need to be fixed. If there's any support our HMS team can provide, please feel free to submit a ticket and we can further review with your agency and review the client destination and update if it's inaccurately entered. Just making sure all information that's in Clarity is accurate and reflects the client's outcome and your project operations. And then also verifying household type. In this example, we all the clients do have a household type, but if the head of household didn't provide a date of birth, it's going to reflect that they didn't. It's undetermined the household type they are. So just verifying that all the client information entered in Clarity is accurate. Something to note here, this example row 2, we're going to see the pathway this client took. So they exit emergency shelter this date and then entered a PH project on the 31st, so later on in the month. So this is showing that there was a gap of 20 days. So that's why it's showing that there is a big gap between their emergency exit and their PH exit. And it could be a data entry error. It could be that they moved into housing and participate in housing closer to their emergency exit. So just reviewing and making sure the data reflects that accurately. I'm going to take a quick pause in case there's any questions about goal 10. Thank you everyone for joining us today. We have listed some resources that are helpful to review when you're working on the project performance report. As mentioned, these reports are available on Clarity, so you can run these reports anytime during the year to see how your project is performing against those threshold goals. The only goals that our HMS team will be sending out is goal 5 and goal 10. But most recently, you can also run Goal 5 on your own through reviewing our unit utilization report. So for Goal 5 and Goal 10, we will be still sending those out twice a year for each project type. So if you have any questions when you're reviewing any of your data, please feel free, agency admins, to please feel free to submit a ticket to our help desk, and we're more than happy to do a deeper dive of your agency data. And thank you, Heather. Heather dropped a link to the links and resources we have in this training, but um, we'll also share the recorded materials and video on our website. So we did plan to have some time for Q&A for anyone who has a question. Feel free to add that in the chat or unmute yourself. Thank you all for joining us. I don't think I see any questions coming in, but feel free to submit a ticket if you have any questions that do come up later on. We will be sending out a recap and including a survey link. So we would like to encourage everyone to please take, just a minute to fill out the survey and let us know your feedback on the training and any topics you would like us to cover in future months. Thank you everyone for your time today, and have a great day.